What's happening, good people? Welcome to the channel. I'm Wes, aka Mr. Budget Watch, and today we're going to be doing a head-to-head watch wall style with the Escapement Time Seiko homage, well, King Seiko, and the San Martin dress watch, which I'm not sure if it's a homage or not. I don't really know. But anyway, so if you've never seen watch walls, there are 10 categories, 10 points per category. Winner is the one with the highest at the end, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to start off with the design. And obviously, you know, this one is a little bit subjective, as well as, you know, points for originality. Now, because the Escapement Time is a homage, I've not scored it quite as high. Even though it's a nice design and it's well executed on the design front, it's not original. So that's why it doesn't score quite as high. Even though I really do like the styling, I really do like the design, I love the case shape of it, and I love the dial, but you know, it does lose out on originality. The San Martin, you know, it's a very nice design as well. A few little inconsistencies though with the design, you know, especially on the branding front. You can see we've got cursive there, and then we've got their more modern hex logo there. So San Martin really need to address that. But other than that, it's a cracking looking watch. So the scores are not too dissimilar, because, you know, there is a few little things I'm not so keen on this one. But, you know, it does take a little bit of an extra, just because it's a more original design than, you know, this homage. So on to build, and we'll actually take a look at the Escapement Time first. And I've scored this one pretty reasonably, because it's quite a solid little watch. So we've got a stainless steel case, you know, we've got a nice screw down crown, and we've got a you know, screw down case back, and it all feels pretty well put together. You know, it's quite a, even though it's a small watch, it feels quite substantial. Obviously they do a bigger 40mm version as well, but you know, even this feels quite dense, and you know, the watch head itself feels pretty good. Now the San Martin just takes the build up to, you know, another level. That does have sapphire, this only has mineral, so that's why that, you know, scores pretty high as well. But you know, the build quality of this one is just a little bit nicer. You know, it just feels a little bit tighter put together. You know, even though the crown's not screwed down, it just feels a little bit more premium. But then again, we'll talk about why that is later on. But yeah, it's just a really well put together watch. So both score, you know, they're quite similar. But you know, this San Martin does edge it a little bit. Moving on to the finishing, and you might be able to tell the winner here, and it's not this. So this is an all high polish finish, apart from the case back, where you can see, you know, it's got a radial brushing, and then sort of like a etched finish with their branding. But yeah, it's all high polish, and you guys know I'm not a huge fan of full high polish watches. Now, if there were some brushed elements on this, then I'd probably score it a little bit higher. But as is, it's full high polish, and to me, it's not my preferred finish. Even though it suits the watch well, I would like to see some brushed elements just to break it up a little bit. The San Martin, however, is beautifully finished. So we've got this really clean satinized brushing, and then we've got these little high polished accents, you know, on the bezel, and then we've got this different polish on the accent, and then we've got more polish in there. It is so nicely done. And then the lugs are high polish, but I think it works quite well. I don't usually like polished lugs, but I think it works with the, you know, the aesthetic. And then, you know, the crown, even though it's a bit odd, the design, the finishing is really great as well. As is, you know, the knurling on the crown itself. Very, very nicely done. So that's why it just sort of wins, because it's just a little bit better across the board. And of course, it's got that brushing as well. So that's why it takes this category. Now we get on to a bit of a downer for both of these watches, the straps. So you can see, you know, they're both similar in style. They've both got this like pebble texture. This one's you know, a little bit broader. This one's a little bit sort of more tightly compact. The styling, you can just see there if I put them side by side, you know, that's got like a wider pebble. That one's a little bit more tighter. But yeah, both straps aren't great, to be honest. I like the styling of both, you know, they've both got this nice taper to them. The stitching's well done, but like with this, the material itself, this one is a little bit better than that one. That one's really hard. This one is hard, but it's not as bad as the Escapement Time. But yeah, Both straps aren't great. Then they've got this, you know, leather inner material, which is not great on either. It's worse on this one. It's a little bit softer on this. So, you know, the San Martin does take it, but honestly, both these watches, if I were going to wear them, you know, regularly, I'd take them off these straps and I'd put them back in their respective boxes. Comfort, again, you know, it's quite a subjective one, but I've scored them identically because those straps really do bring it down. Now, the watches themselves wear really nice, but on these, you know, stock straps, they're just not comfortable at all, and it's all down to the poor straps. They've just not got, you know, much flex or give in them, and they're not really supple. You know, like a leather strap, a good quality one, is supple, it's soft, and it really flows around your wrist. These just don't, and they're not very good quality. So that really does tarnish how they actually wear on wrist. So that's why they've scored as they have. As for the movements, we have a Swiss Ronda 715 in this one, and it is the premium Swiss Ronda, so it's the gold-plated one with 5 jewels. This is the Seiko VH31, which of course is that sweeping quartz, and both have their pros and cons. Of course, this one, you know, it has its sweep, which is way nicer than a clunky one tick. The downside is the battery life is only 2 years. So that's a big drawback there. The Swiss Ronda has a much better battery life. It's really solid, as is this one. But the downside is it's only a single tick. So I've scored these ones, you know, quite similar, just giving the edge to the Swiss Ronda because of that battery life. If this battery life were better, then this would have won, you know, hands down in my opinion. Accuracy for both is actually, I think the VH31 is a little bit more accurate. I think that's plus to minus 20 per month. This is 15 seconds per month, so it's more accurate. So it is a bit of a to and fro between them, but it's just the battery life that really kills this one. Water resistance, both of these are same. They're not very good, to be fair, and I'd probably keep these out of water. Obviously, with them both being dress watches, you're not really going to put them in water anyway. But even if you're near water, I'd just, you know, keep them well clear, so they both score what they do. Availability. Now, I've scored the this one favoured towards the San Martin, and the reason for that is because, well, Escapement Time, I've had some issues, not just now, but in the past as well, with availability. I mean, because they're popular watches, they sell out, and you know, the seller, their store, doesn't really seem to get the stock back in all that quick. Then we had, you know, the issue where they shut the shop down during the global thing. I'm not gonna, you know, we all know, they shut the store down, whereas San Martin, you know, remained open. I'm talking this one, not the first one. So this time around, they closed the store, whereas pretty much all other sellers on AliExpress remained open, so I'm not really sure what happened there. But anyway, I've just scored it in favour of the San Martin, just because, you know, their store seems to be, you know, open a lot more, and they seem to have a lot more stock than Escapement Time as well. Brand, you know, I've actually scored this one a bit of a dead heat. Now, both are really, you know, good brands. Escapement Time, you know, it's a fan favourite. They make some really great affordable watches. San Martin, you know, they're a little bit more premium, but they've got a good reputation. It would have been higher for San Martin, but I've been seeing a lot of people saying that, you know, their customer services isn't that good. Now, personally, I've never had a big enough problem with San Martin watches or a San Martin watch that I've bought myself to sort of warrant, you know, actually dealing with customer services. So I have bought San Martins in the past and they've all been fine. Other people, you know, they've not been to look and they've had to deal with customer services and they're apparently not that good. So they definitely need to work on that. So I've scored them both the same. But if I had personal experiences, bad experiences, then of course that would affect the result. But I haven't as of yet, so I can't really, you know, give it a negative for something I haven't experienced myself. Now we get on to a clear win for the Escapement Time, and that is the price point. So this is considerably cheaper than the San Martin. So this, including taxes in the UK, is £78. The San Martin, including taxes, is around 111. That's after sort of, you know, you use your coins and any store discount. Usually that'll probably go up to around 150, 116. That one is now closer to 80 with these taxes. So they're both definitely, you know, on that. They're not really expensive watches, but, you know, I think they're expensive for what they are, let's just say. So price-wise, I've obviously scored the Escapement Time better because it's cheaper, but this still scores well because you do get quite a fair bit of value for money. Now, like I said in my review, if this had sapphire, that would have been so much better, and there's a few other little issues as well. So if those were fixed, then it'd have scored way higher than what it did. Here are the end results, and you can see it is a, you know, not a massive win for the San Martin, but it is an ever so slight win. And I think it just wins on a few areas, and it's not like a massive drastic win on each. It's just a subtle difference in each category that's sort of, you know, totted up to a small victory. Now, whichever watch you pick out of these, they're both brilliant watches, and I guess it's all down to personal preference, really. Do you prefer, you know, the homage style with the sweeping quartz, which I wish they'd have actually put into this, but yeah. So either of these watches, you're probably not going to be disappointed with them. This one, I'm definitely hoping they do add sapphire and tweak a few little things and, you know, make it better. But yeah, it does win, just very narrowly. What do you guys think? Am I right? Am I wrong? As always, let me know. Thanks for watching. See you soon. Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any uploads. And of course, follow me on social media at Mr. Budget Watch. Thanks again. I'll see you soon.